Company 10.
WGO. What's going on? It's your boy Bishop, aka the GOAT. You got your boy Trey, the commission, here on Sunday morning for you know what time it is. It is First Formation C.O.B. Close of business. Let's go. Hey, so we in week 2. Bless you. We in week 2 of the NFL predictions, man. Hey, I just want to put this out real quick. If any of y'all want to ever jump on our show to be a guest speaker or guest picker, should I say, feel free to let us know so we can definitely get you on the show when we do our NFL week 2 or whatever week we do our predictions. Be sure to let us know so we can get you on here. Trey, what's good this morning? First, before we even ask Trey what's good, let me first give a happy birthday to Trey, the commish, creator of First Formation right here. Happy birthday to Trey, man. Mad shouts out to that man for this morning, man, for doing great things and being able to see another birthday, you know. Happy birthday, bro.
Appreciate it, man. You know what? I'm 48 years old now, right? Of course, you know.
Young man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. So a lot of times I get the conversation or like I realize the point at which people be like, "Hey, how you doing? You feel your age?" I feel nothing like my age in
That's good.
Any sense of the matter. So I greatly appreciate, you know what I'm saying? Greatly appreciate any and all birthday wishes and stuff like that, the celebratories and all that this evening. But you know what I'm saying, another day, you know what I'm saying, God bless me. And so definitely I'm going to repay him and do my due diligence in him keeping me on this earth and spreading the word and doing and doing whatever I got to do. That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
So with that being said, man, let's go ahead and get into it. I personally, you know what I'm saying, I got a game. My daughter, she has a game today. So she's back on, you know, she's back in the thick of things, about to get it, you know what I'm saying, get back into it. What up, CC in the building? What the devil? Did this man have a green?
Did you switch it up? You flipped it up?
Has he switched teams? Did he just?
You put a whole receiver?
It's just love for the NFL, baby. It's just love for the
NFL. You know what? That's a good prerequisite.
Not only that, but I'm not mad at him because I do the same thing, CC. I got other NFL football jerseys outside of the Philadelphia Eagles. I do. Yeah, just like last week, I had that Baltimore Ravens jersey, Ed Reed, because I collect. At one point in time, I used to collect jerseys. I think I only got like 20. I never collected all 32 teams, and I might still finish doing that. But it's crazy to see. I ain't never seen you rep anything or other than Dallas, bro. So to see you in a Green Bay Packers shirt, hey, it's a little different.
You know what?
Hey, man.
You know what? I went to a Super Bowl party a couple years ago while I was stationed at JBLM. And of course, that Super Bowl was the Seattle Seahawks against the Denver Broncos. And because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't put anyone else's jersey on. And so what I did was I went to the PX and I was fortunate enough to find one of those shirts that have both teams on it and just say Super Bowl or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's what I wore to the Super Bowl party. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I
did that when the Eagles was against played the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I did the exact same thing. I wore Eagles / Kansas City shirt. That's all I could find at the time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I didn't want to wear a jersey for whatever reason. I just wanted to wear a shirt. I didn't want to wear that jersey because I just didn't want to. I don't know. I just didn't want to jinx it any type of way. So I found a shirt and got a shirt and wore that. But yeah, I feel you. Not mad at you, CC. Not mad at you. But man,
I mean, like I said, that's a good prerequisite. You could be like,
unfortunately, they on their backup quarterback though. They on their backup QB.
If Dallas doesn't do well, he could always be like, I ain't changed alliances. I'm just like wearing different shirts. So that works. It's a good setup.
And we looking pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to even hold you. I'm not against Dallas, especially because Dak is is my franchise quarterbacks on some of my teams. So I got, you know what I'm saying? I'm not against them, but I'm very sure we're gonna get to it. I'm not gonna hold up the
bet you the Saints ain't gonna score 47 today.
Not even close, bro. Not even close. I don't even see that happening at all. But what I will say, man, we're gonna get into it. Trey, would you happen to have the scores of last week for my week 1? Do you happen to have who fared what out of us 3 or 4? Actually, it was 4 of us because we did it on Thursday of last week. Not last week, but the Thursday before for week 1. We did it on Thursday night.
I didn't have it, but I definitely look forward to I have to look and see. I think if isn't, I don't know, because I was about to, what I was about to say, it should have been the same as, but you know how that goes. It's like I'm not gonna say certain things because I don't know who watches. We don't know if the fans watching, and I don't want to mess up everyone's joint. But I think I'm gonna go with how I do on one thing. I think I'm gonna start just going with it on that one and just say let the chips fall where they may. But it was. I think I might have, even though I didn't participate this week. I think just in general, my picks and stuff, I think I'm going to fare all right so far. But it's hard. It's hard so far in the season, in my opinion, in making selections because you just don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, and I totally agree, man. I know for sure by looking at the schedule. I know for sure I was 1-1 when we entered in week 1 because I picked Philly to beat Green Bay, which they did 34-29. But I picked Baltimore. I don't know which one of y'all picked Baltimore or Kansas City, but I picked Baltimore. We all
picked Baltimore.
I think we all picked Baltimore. Yeah, you and I was definitely step for a while. So we all picked Baltimore.
I think we only separated on the Las Vegas game and the Las Vegas, and it was one other one in which we separated on.
I'm gonna go through it and see if y'all can remember, but I know we all picked Baltimore. And we know what happened with that by Bigfoot. Likely, if his feet wasn't so big, we probably would have won that game because that last touchdown pass in which Lamar Jackson threw, his foot was just barely out of bounds, which gave them Kansas City.
You know what?
27-20.
Did y'all happen to watch some of that game?
You know what? That's why I was about to say Lamar, bro.
They could have won it, like you said. Y'all
thought Lamar was good in that game?
No, I did not.
I didn't.
Even though he threw an interception, what I saw was Patrick Mahomes give a school on how you throw your receivers open, Lamar. Lamar throwing the ball behind them dudes. He put it everywhere. Like, he throw that ball a little quicker than likely foot not even in the thing. He got to learn to get on time with the ball, man. He was so behind on some of those passes. It's man.
Honestly, we shouldn't even seen that likely catch. He had
the one before that, the two before that. The one he threw in the quarter end zone, if he'd have threw that one earlier, that would have been in bounds. If he'd have threw that one in earlier. And then the one he threw to that he totally missed, what's his name, right in the middle of the end zone. He just simply threw it behind him. I don't know what Lamar was looking at. That was an easy touchdown. That was a toss touchdown that he could have done. He missed that one. But, yeah, I mean, Lamar kind of, in my opinion, kind of lost that game for him because he could have won it for him if he'd have made some throws. Pittsburgh, Atlanta, I know I picked Atlanta for that game. Everybody know Pittsburgh won that game with 18
field goals, man.
Field goals.
Is Pittsburgh gonna score a touchdown this year offensively?
Bro, I don't know. Justin, we looking at Justin Fields starting again today. So I don't know. I know I lost that game. Buffalo, Arizona. I picked Buffalo for sure. Yeah, Buffalo beat Arizona, which was a good game though. 34-28. That was a good game. That was a real good game. But the Buffalo comes out on top with Josh Allen. We'll speak about Josh because we just saw what Josh did on Thursday too. But we'll get to that in a minute. Then Chicago over Tennessee, another game. CC, do you believe me about Caleb yet? Now, CC, do you believe me about Caleb now? This dude, defense won this game.
Totally different from the preseason, right? Like when the lights are the brightest, man.
CC, the defense.
I gotta back down on Caleb a little bit, man. You gotta show me something. Rook, because that was awful.
Defense won the game for them. Chicago beats Tennessee defensively 24-17. Caleb has not thrown a touchdown yet.
You know what? But no different than Caleb, bro. I told you Will Levis ain't it.
He ain't.
Will Levis, he started off all right. Now how he ended was different.
He started
off all right though.
Yeah, he started off better than Caleb. He did do that. Now I'll say that part. And I think this is so. I lost that game too because I picked Tennessee and somehow Chicago pulled it out.
I took Chicago,
yeah, because of defense. But this game right here, bro, I need to hear from y'all. New England upsets Cincinnati. 16 to 10.
I watched that game
in Cincinnati.
I watched that game because of the area I'm in, the coverage sometimes you get, man. And I tell you what, 5 years of Joe Burrow being on the Cincinnati Bengals, and they still haven't got an offensive line. You still can't block for this guy.
I know, bro. I'm with you on that one, bro. Like, how do you allow the no having Bill Parcells, the GOAT coach of the New England Patriots, to beat you on your home field 60? You could only scrounge up 10 points against it.
10 points.
Bro, really?
That's so. Well, I wait till we do our actual picks for this week.
I lost that one.
Some of this stuff's going to go into there.
I lost that one too, so I picked
as
Cincinnati.
well as I did.
Yeah, I think a lot of us lost that one because I don't think nobody picked to beat Cincinnati in Cincinnati. Now,
I didn't see the Patriots beating them with Brissett at quarterback, especially, man.
Yeah, that part, bro. That part. Not only that. Now, this game was a good game too. I watched this game too. This was a real good game because I told you about this dude right here, man. The Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts, 29-27. I picked Houston, but I'm gonna tell you that boy Richardson ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah,
that boy Richardson ain't nothing to play with, bro. I tried to tell you that boy is nothing.
The only
to
reason
play
I went with Houston to this one, honestly, I say is because I wasn't sure how Richardson was going to come back.
That's like everybody though, Trey. I think because he coming off a major injury, so everybody was like, question what is?
You got to take into consideration he's still a rookie quarterback in a sense.
That part too. Part too. So we just didn't know what we was going to see from Anthony, but Anthony's been here to tell you, I'm here to play. Y'all play with me.
Stroud is good, man. Stroud is good. Richardson is good.
Like, still looking good. Both of them. That was two good quarterbacks playing each other.
I actually think this year right here, you starting to see at least 25 out of the 32 teams got good quarterbacks, man.
Yes,
like, they got decent quarterbacks. Like that's a lot of teams with good quarterbacks.
Agreed, CC. Agreed. So Houston won that one. We all picked Houston. I got that win. This one, Miami versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Miami come out on top, 20-17. However, Jacksonville was they had that gas on them. Miami had to come back. Miami had to come back in this game because Jacksonville was in them. They was on them boys. Miami had to come back in this game, and they did what they had to do to get it to go. Now, mind you, all the hoopla, and I don't even know if that's the right term to use in this, but everything which happened to Tyreek Hill, Calais Campbell, all of them prior to this game. We all know the incident that happened with Tyreek Hill being arrested, being put down on the ground with the police in Miami-Dade, and for him to go out there and score a 60-yard touchdown and then reenact kind of sort of what happened to him prior to the game speaks volumes on what went on. But Miami and Tua get the win versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm still waiting to see what Sunshine gonna do. Sunshine is not what he's just not yet where I expected him to be. In my
should be. He should be. It's a little late in the game.
That part, CC. That part, CC.
Is it fair to say that Clemson quarterbacks are that of what of Alabama quarterbacks when it comes to being in the pros?
We've only seen like two, right? Watson and this guy, right? Trevor Lawrence, right?
Keep in mind though, right?
Watson was real good for a while, man.
He was in Houston. He just ain't showing. He ain't showing them glimpse of greatness of what he had over at Houston. He's just
keep in mind, right? I can't remember his name right now because I didn't think to look it up. But the first national championship wasn't won by Watson in Clemson. It was another quarterback who ain't even been heard of or anything like that. I can't think of his name, but it was another quarterback in which I think I know what you're talking about. That they can fare well either. So I don't know. Like you said, Watson did start out pretty hot. He was creme de la creme. Of course, he was sought after, but I don't know what has happened of late. And then, like I said,
I think we're gonna talk about that game, right?
Brian, his name was Brian.
What I saw in that game, man, let's just face it. The Cleveland players, especially his offensive line, his players don't want to play with Watson. You can see that, man. They're not blocking for that guy. They not blocking.
Right.
The Cowboys hit him on almost every drop back. They not blocking for that guy. They don't want to play with that guy. They block better for the backup quarterback last year. They did better with the backup quarterback than what Watson is doing. I just see his team. They got that Willie Beeman effect. Where's your invisible juice now, Willie? I mean,
yeah.
For real. They don't want to block for that. They don't want to play for that guy, man. They don't want to play with that guy.
We definitely gonna get to that because that game is coming up here in a second. Next game, this was a shocker to me. I mean, I picked this team to win, but it was a shocker. I definitely didn't see this. But again, we're talking about another quarterback who's in the league who should be showing some progress and is not doing that. And that's the New Orleans Saints versus the Carolina Panthers. Saints put up 47 points on them boys, 47-10. Now, the quarterback in which we talking about is the Carolina Panthers quarterback in
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, thank you. Bryce Young, this dude here, he's not like a Trevor Lawrence because he hasn't been in the league as long as Trevor. However, he should be showing some production. He should be doing better than what he's doing. And Carolina is just not it right now. 47 points? Is this an NCAA game or is this a college NFL game? Because there's no way you should be allowing 47 points to be put up on you week one. I just don't know. But what does that say about your boy Carr? Derek out there in New Orleans.
It just says that they can beat up on chumps, man. They can beat up. That's all. We're gonna wait and see the fallout with Carr. We're gonna see a lot today. With Michael Parsons getting after him today, we're gonna see what Carr got today. But man, look, I think I posted it on my thing. $180 for 2 tickets for Panther games, bro. Like they hurting right now. $180. You could buy 90 cents a ticket. If you buy 2 tickets, you paid $180. That's how bad Carolina is right now. Nobody going to the game. That's crazy. Next game we had, I picked New Orleans. I believe we all picked New Orleans because I think everybody's still out on the Carolina Panthers on what's going on with them. Next game, Minnesota Vikings. We all know they don't have Kirk Cousins anymore, but that young whippersnapper over there now in Minnesota is doing some things. But again, they played the New York Giants. Whoa. Sam Darnold, man, he looked better than he did years prior, but
he did. He looked good.
Again, I think it's the adage in which I keep talking about, right? Mediocre quarterback, mediocre receivers, you're not going to yield well. Mediocre quarterback, top end type receivers, it's a different story. You can turn the page. You can't do that with a top tier quarterback and mediocre receivers or below. But on the flip side of it, if your quarterback has some type of talent, he might be able to get the job done. But like again, I'm not going to say I believe in Sam Darnold exactly yet. Of course, he plays for 49ers this week, and so we'll see. Last week last year they played the 49ers without Justin Jefferson, and they smacked us. But that was Kirk Cousins. Jordan Addison had to coming out. It was different. So the situation is different this time. But we'll see because I know we're going to get to that. But like I said, mediocre quarterback or so-so quarterback, top tier receivers and running backs and stuff like that is a different story.
Oh, and we know the Giants feel some type of way losing Saquon and what Saquon did on that Thursday night. And they ain't have nothing like that happening for them in New York against Minnesota. Next game, we all picked Minnesota in that game. Next game, Los Angeles Rams versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. Rams came out on top. This was Harbaugh's first game as head coach for the Chargers. For the first head coach Chargers first game. Chargers win. I said Rams, didn't I? I said Rams. My bad.
I thought the Rams played the Lions, but okay.
Yeah. The Chargers, my bad. Los Angeles Chargers. Thank you, CC. Chargers came out on top 22-10. I think we all picked the Chargers back.
So remember, Trey.
I picked the Rams.
Remember in the summer I was telling you I had that whole thing with the Raiders fans. Remember, I had that whole thing with the Raiders fans or whatever. And now the Raider fans can see what I'm talking about. Like big talk is not gonna get it done. You don't have a quarterback. I like Antonio Pierce. I like his mentality, but I don't think he the man for that job. As far as you think you're gonna win with defense in that division, you crazy.
But again, like we was just talking about, they have like what we just point we just made. They have I don't know if Minshew is the Minshew from when he was taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to the AFC Championship game, placing off against Brady, then going and picking up backup duty for Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis.
He's out there with us too at one point.
Yeah, backing up on Jalen Hurts. I don't think that Minshew is that person that you can have run the organization. You know, I think some quarterbacks are made to be like, you know, someone who I think is the best. Like, I think Jeff Garcia was an excellent backup. Fitzpatrick, excellent backup. It's like, if you ain't got no, it's like, you know what? I'm cool with having whoever starting, because if I got a backup that is going to sit up and tear the town up. I think Minshew is another person in that light where he's excellent as a backup in reserve, but to run your organization, maybe not. The only person that might have been different, like Garcia might have been a little bit. Fitzpatrick, once he got in the game, it was like basically they had to trade him away to open up the door for Tua, because Fitz was not going to beat Fitz out like that. But the other person that I think is like that now is Tyrod Taylor. I would love to have Tyrod Taylor as my backup, because if I got to pull him in, I'm still possibly able to win.
I think the Giants was crazy. I think the Giants was crazy not to have Tyrod on that roster. You know what I'm saying? He's not on the Giants roster now. I forgot who he's playing for. He's in New
York. He's with the Jets.
Right. Like he
should have been for a touchdown against San Francisco.
He should have been with the Giants. The Giants should have kept him. They should have did everything in their power to keep him. Because you see Danny Dimes. What happened to Danny Dimes? He ain't dropping no dimes. That dude's horrible. Like, wow.
And now it comes back to what he was.
Just a heads up, man. AJ Brown is out for Monday's game. So
I'm looking at it. Do I have AJ Brown in my roster?
I don't even know what happened to AJ Brown.
Oh man, that hurts my fantasy.
It hurts a lot of people.
Like my starting receiver.
Yeah, he hurt. That hurts a lot. He wanted mine too. It's in your room on your bed. All right. The next game was the Denver Broncos versus the Seattle Seahawks. Close game. Seattle won 26-20. I don't even know who we picked on this game, to be honest with you. I can't remember.
Seattle. I don't believe in both.
Seattle.
I think I might have went with. I don't remember, but either way, Seattle.
But watch the Broncos. But watch the Broncos this year. I'm just gonna put that out there. Watch the Broncos.
Yeah, don't sleep with them, man. I think they're gonna be something, man. I really do.
I think Sean found his quarterback with Bo.
Yeah, I think he likes Bo. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
And then they got a decent running game with that Estimate, man. Estimate out of Notre Dame, man. That rookie. When you was asking about players, that's a guy to watch. Coming out of, I think he can carry the ball. He one of the few running backs left in the league that can carry the ball 25 times. You know what I'm saying? I think Estimate gonna make a difference
for them. Okay. Now here we go. We're gonna go into OCC's realm. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb getting them big contracts. Dak Prescott got big contract right before the game. So everybody knew. If you didn't bet before the game, you bet after. If you hadn't bet before you found out about Dak's big contract, you bet right after that. Because by Sunday morning, before 10 o'clock in the morning, everybody knew Dak had got his contract. And with that being said, Dak came out there and showed his behind. And guess who else surprised me? Zeke Elliott came out there and played like the old Zeke of Dallas.
But can he keep it up, though? Can he keep it up 17 games?
That is the question. That's what I was going to get at. But I will say, first game, but again, that they did play one of the top-ranked defenses in Cleveland. They did play one of the top-ranked defenses in Cleveland, and they showed that their defenses shouldn't be top-ranked. 33-17. Dallas did whatever the hell they wanted to do with them Cleveland Browns. Anything they wanted to do, they did. Ran the ball, threw the ball, whatever they wanted to do. And
what about that punt return, though, man? Turpin was a good pickup a couple of years, a year or two ago, man. He was a good pickup from. Did he come from like the AFL, whatever league it was, the UFL?
Didn't he come from Kansas State? Didn't he come from Kansas State, a Big 12
I
team?
think that is Turpin from Kansas State. I know his agent. So when I was seeing his agent talk about him for the most part. So it's definitely one of those testaments in which when you see the sticking with somebody or sticking around or thing, you know what I'm saying, and believing in a person and kind of like trying to kind of like sign them on and, you know what I'm saying, and riding that person. And right now, Turpin, I see him doing work and stuff like that. So it's I don't know about his hands now because he got in there and he dropped a couple of quick outs and stuff like that. But I mean, he can basically scoop and he made him pay. I think the new system, the new kickoff is going to be beneficial to some players, and he's one of those players.
Yeah, he's one of those. I think you're gonna take advantage of that. You're right.
Yeah, I agree. Now, one thing I will say about this, Dak got his contract, CD got his contract. Michael said, y'all better give me my contract because Michael was a problem. Deshaun Watson, that man had nightmares of Michael.
Yeah.
He had nightmares of Michael. I'm telling you, he had nightmares.
Michael, you gonna get your money, man. Just chill. You gonna get your money.
Just wait it out, bro. Just wait. But this is the thing. This is where Dallas, in my opinion, is messed up at. This man continue to play like this. Y'all can't just give him no simple contract, bro.
Well, I think the problem is Micah won't. He might want to test the free. Ain't he gonna be a free agent after this season? This is his 4th year, right? His rookie contract should be up, right?
Right. It is.
I think he might want to test the waters, man. I think he might want to see the free agency.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he might want to. You know, I mean, I think he might want to test the free agent market.
It is true, though.
There you go.
You know what I was thinking?
Don't he do a lot of talking about Philadelphia?
Yeah, he do. He
Somebody like him will probably. You think Philly? I think he'll go over there. I think he'll go to Pittsburgh first, and him and Watt on opposite sides of that field, man. Change the whole thing. I can see Michael Parsons doing something like that, man. Like, as Dallas, I want to keep him, but I can see him saying, "Let me test the free agent market."
Yeah, JJ had a field day over there at Atlanta. Now, next game, I know I picked Dallas for that game. I definitely wasn't picking Cleveland because we all know about Deshaun. A lot of people say Deshaun is washed up. I've heard some analysts say Deshaun is not. He's done. Like, he's not that guy. So we'll see. Next game, Washington Commanders versus Tampa Bay Bucks in Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield out there. We already know about the Washington quarterback in what's his name? Daniels. Yeah. Daniels. He didn't have a great showing. First game, NFL. Tampa Bay stomped him 37-20. Baker looked good. Mike Evans looked good. The Tampa Bay Bucks just looked good. You know what I'm saying? And I think if I'm not mistaken,
hats off to Baker Mayfield, man. Like,
he played.
I underestimated that guy. I thought he was done.
No,
I didn't think he would ever be a starter again.
It's this dude right here. Oh, wrong way. This dude right here, man. This dude right here.
Right.
Dude right here. He don't have no faith. Baker Mayfield is overrated. Baker Mayfield.
No, that was before. I mean, he the most automatic outside of Christian McCaffrey, the most automatic player in the league is Mike Evans. You is not going to stop Evans from getting his off. So Baker is just he's in the right spot. He got Mike Evans.
So he fell in the hands
taking advantage of it too. I like
that. And he is that part. He letting you know you put me over here. I'm gonna show you why you should.
He got a receiving core. Mike Evans, and then what's his name is the guy that isn't a bad drop off.
Hold on, but he had a receiving core in Cleveland. Don't do that. Don't do.
Did he though?
Yeah, he had. Come on, man. They had some names in Cleveland. Like they were supposed to be.
Yeah, come on. Don't do that.
He had who did he have? He had Amari. Was Amari Cooper there when he was when Odell was there? It was Odell? Odell
Beckham.
Yeah, he had Odell, but he had the back end of Odell. I want to say almost.
Yeah, he had because Odell it was after Odell's injuries and he had left and New York had dropped him, but he had Odell. I'm trying to think of the other dude who was another.
Else. I can't figure.
Yeah, he was another LSU receiver that was there.
Yeah, he had two bookends. He had two bookends over there too. I can't think of who it was.
Yeah, that he didn't have. So he didn't have.
Then he had a tight end too.
He had Njoku. He still has Njoku.
Yeah,
I mean,
Njoku's still there, but didn't he have for one while he had wasn't Cribbs on that team?
Josh Cribbs, yes, Josh.
So he
had,
he didn't have a receiver.
He had guys, man. He had some guys.
He had guys, but he ain't had nothing similar to what he has now. When he left Cleveland, when he left Cleveland and he got picked up by Los Angeles, the Rams. He played briefly there, and then they didn't pick him up the following year, and he signed with
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, and like he has had nothing similar to what he has in receivers since he.
Speaking of receivers, man, poor Puka Nacua, man, second season out for a while.
That's why, bro, CC. That's why when it comes down to fantasy, bro, you just like. You could have a great season the previous season, but come in and follow the next season, you just don't know, man. You just don't. Just like last year with freaking Aaron Rodgers. Everybody hyped on Aaron Rodgers. He's going to the Jets. The Jets going to the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. First game in, out for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. You just don't know. Oh, whatchamacallit? Hollywood Brown. He out for the season.
Yeah, he out. And then look, the Rams, they just have bad luck with that, right? Because Puka Nacua rose with Cup was hurt.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now Cup's healthy, and now Puka. I mean, they can't win,
for losing. They can't win for losing. You ain't right. And speaking of which, that's the next game. The Detroit Lions. Defeat the Los Angeles Rams 26-20.
Damn.
Great game.
You know what?
Yeah,
that was
overtime. In week one. Overtime in week one.
Great game, bro. Great game.
You know what? I was skeptical, right? I was skeptical, even in fantasy, like we said, a lot of stuff really, really drives the fantasy football train, right? So in fantasy football, I was skeptical because I was like, is Jameer and David Montgomery going to be the same tandem that they was?
Absolutely, until one get hurt. If one don't get hurt, bro, it
didn't even make a difference because they rode the David Montgomery train the whole OT, and David ate. He ate.
That boy is nothing to play with. Bro.
How did Chicago let that man go?
Bro, that boy is nothing to play with. I think we picked. I think I picked Detroit in that game. That was a great game. I watched that game that night. That was one of the late games. That was a good one. I watched that game. Detroit won 26-20. And then the final game for last week of week one, to close out week one, was Aaron Rodgers and them New York Jets versus the non-McCaffrey having San Francisco 49ers. However, you would not have known that they didn't have a running back in McCaffrey when they brought that back up in there, and he did what he did in Jets, bro.
So
what's his name, Trey? What's his name?
Jordan Mason. So when you look at it, right, Jordan Mason showed that type of moxie during the preseason, but of course we don't know. Preseason we've seen Caleb Williams cook during preseason, and we didn't expect that. So they kind of like figure or kind of like thought it was an inkling of a thought, like, okay, maybe he can be back because Elijah Mitchell was out. He's out. He's out for the season. Who has been their backup for Christian McCaffrey and was the go-to when McCaffrey is gone? Excuse me. But Jordan Mason now has his opportunity.
That boy showed his behind. Now, speaking on the other side of the ball, Aaron Rodgers, y'all thoughts? You got the Green Bay jersey on, Green Bay shirt on, CC. What did you think of Aaron Rodgers' production in that game versus San Francisco, who was the runner-up in Super Bowl last year? What did you think of Aaron Rodgers' performance versus that not number one, but one of the top-ranked defenses in the league of last year?
He started off all right, man. I was like, whoa, I was impressed. I was like, man, he come back. He looking all right. And then all of a sudden, San Francisco said, okay, we done playing with y'all now. We done playing with y'all. And they turn up the pressure. He can't move yet, right? Yeah. Or he reluctant to move like Aaron Rodgers.
The Achilles is being his Achilles. Yeah, you could tell. Yeah, in my opinion. I agree the same thing. A lot of analysts said the same thing about it. It looks like Aaron Rodgers is not comfortable with his Achilles as of yet.
That's what I saw, but man, I gotta say something about the Jets, man. I told y'all Robert Saleh wasn't a dude for the job, and he's proven more and more, man. Like, what more do you need? You got good offense, your defense supposed to be good. I was more disappointed in the Jets defense than anything. Y'all supposed to be good. Y'all didn't put up no fight against the backup running back. I'm confused.
That part. Like, and that's what everybody was saying. Like, if he did that, Mason did that, what would McCaffrey have done if he would have played? Like, really? And again, once again, McCaffrey, for those that don't know, is not playing again today.
He's out for the rest. He's out for the next 4 games, actually.
Oh, is it 4 games? Okay. So he is out. So make sure you adjust your alignments.
So what I'll say, right? I don't want to jump on not San Francisco, New York and their defense and stuff, because in-state is only they had a little to go off of, like I said, watching Jordan Mason, but the expectation was McCaffrey. So I'm sure they planned for him, and I'm sure they was thinking like, okay, we're going to plan for this, that, the third in the offense, especially when you look at Salah was a San Francisco defensive coordinator. So he kind of knew what was in the room in a little bit, except for he didn't know Brock Purdy. But when you look at that, I think they just didn't put, like, who would have thought that San Francisco was going, like, they fed Jordan Mason. They fed him like he
had 20-something carries.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying, who would have thought that wasn't the plan? I'm very sure they didn't think that was the plan at all. Honestly, I don't even think Shanahan thought that was the plan. It just got to the point
called in-game adjustments. See, this is what
that part
is. That's what coaching is. It's called in-game adjustments.
That part.
What I mean?
And they make adjustment on the fly. When you make adjustment on the fly and you see that they can't stop you, why not keep going to it? That's where a lot of coaches go wrong. They feel like, oh,
that's just like I didn't think that Brandon Ayuk was going to be problematic in this game, and surely was. So it's like they probably thought the same thing. Like we got to stop Brandon Ayuk. He's back in the fold. All right, we ain't got to worry too much about the rookie running back. Just saying. And then it was completely the opposite. And I guess, like you said,
we've watched championship teams before. The Jets are not that team, even with Aaron Rodgers, man.
Right.
Look, because championship teams, all them excuses are out the window. We're going to do what we need to do to win. They don't have that. They don't have that mentality. You can look at it already. They don't have that. It's not the players' fault. It's the coaching fault, man. If they bring another coach, hey, listen to me. When he gets fired, if he gets fired during this season, watch the next coach come in and coach that team way better.
So only thing I can say, I would say this, and then so I know he can move on, that Aaron Rodgers showed a little something. People like Breece Hall, we didn't get the same type of game that we thought we would have got from Breece Hall. We didn't get the game. Well, Garrett was all right, but Lazard, like if you see the trend, Lazard is picked up everywhere. So I don't believe Lazard's that person, but he was able to have a showing against San Francisco.
Lazard is good enough though, Trey. I feel like Lazard is good enough as a weapon for Aaron. Aaron can make Lazard be that dude.
That's what I'm
saying. He can make him be that dude.
He did. That's what kept him.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Before he got Devontae Adams, who was the best receiver Aaron Rodgers ever played with before Devontae Adams, man? You can't name me one.
You know what I'm saying? Jones or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. But who was good though? Come on, man. I'm just saying, like this dude did it his whole career with middle
mediocre quarterback. I mean,
receivers. Mediocre,
and hell, to be honest, he ain't win one with Devontae either.
No, but they just kept going to the NFC Championship game, though. You know what I'm saying? Like 13-3 records. They kept having those records. But I'm saying the Jets, they got to pick it up. If you talking about championship, you're not going to sniff a Super Bowl with that mentality, with that coaching mentality, man. You got to change that up.
That's fact. I totally agree with CC on that one. All right, so let's get into week 2, man. Week 2, one of the first games coming up at 11 o'clock p.m. 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. We got the New Orleans Saints with Derek Carr, which we just talked about, and the Dallas Cowboys with those 2 major contracts with CeeDee Lamb and Dak. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the people's coach. I'm gonna let him pick first. Who you got?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So we already knew Dallas. What it was. He going with the Cowboys. Who you got, Trey?
I want to do Cowboys. I want to keep that train going.
And I believe they playing in Cowboy Stadium. They lining up right now. They're showing Michael Parsons and CeeDee Lamb. I got to go with the Cowboys and Dak. The way they played last week, again, they played the Cleveland Browns. But either way, I don't know. I don't think New Orleans is about to put up no 40 burger on the Cowboys. Not with Micah Parsons on that side of the field, other side of the field, other side of the ball against him. So I'm taking the Cowboys as well. Next game, another 12 o'clock game at Central Standard Time and 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I just seen them lining up too. We have Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Baker Mayfield, and we have the Detroit Lions. Both teams are 1-0. Trey, I'm gonna let you go first. Who you got for this game?
I'm going to continue to ride that Lion train. See if with the Detroit Lions probably capitalizing on what they did last week and continue to push that. So yeah, I'm on Detroit.
Okay, CC, who you got?
I'm going to take the Buccaneers this time.
Ooh, there we go.
I think the Bucs owe the Lions a butt kicking from last. Did they play last year? They got spanked at home.
Mm-hmm.
They got spanked at home by the Lions, so I think they owe them something.
Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and go with Jared Goff. I'm gonna take the Lions as well, man. I'm taking the Lions because and the only reason I'm taking the Lions because they playing at home. I don't think if it was the other way around, I probably would go with Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But because Detroit is playing at home, I'm going to take the Detroit Lions. All right. Next game, 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern, Indianapolis Colts. We just talked about Anthony Richardson versus Green Bay Packers without a Jordan Love. Without a Jordan Love. We know Jordan Love is about to be out. He's not on IR, but he's out. They're looking to get him out, hopefully to have him back by week 4. With this game, they're playing in Green Bay. What I seen from Anthony Richardson, bro, I got to go with the Colts, man. I got to go with the Colts. I'm taking the Colts in this game. I know it's on the road for them, but I just got to go with that team. I just feel like I feel confident about Anthony Richardson. The way he played last week, it was a close game. They just came up a bit short. Both teams are on 1. I'm taking the Colts. Trey, who you got?
I'm going with the Colts as well. Like I think this is one of those times in the season everyone is kind of like spread out. So you got to just go with what you think. And from what I've seen in Indianapolis, even if Jordan Love was going to be an active player, I don't know if I could just outright pick Green Bay. But I'm going with the Colts and Anthony Richardson, Pierce and company going ahead and probably not a complete throttling like they put up last week, but I do see them getting a dub.
All right, CC, who you got? Yeah. Pack or the Colts?
I'm going Colts. After that close one against the Texans last week, they're gonna win this game.
They're gonna make a present. I feel you. Now we just talked about these teams. We just talked about the defense of one team, and we just talked about one. We just don't think he's that guy. We're talking about the 0-1 Jets and Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not talking about him as being not that guy, but we're talking about the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, who they don't have Will Levis. They don't have Derrick Henry. This is a hard one to pick, in my opinion. No, it's not a hard one because I already know who I'm going to pick, actually, to be honest with you. But they're playing in Tennessee. CC, who you got?
I just talked noise about Salah, but the Jets better. I'm taking the Jets. They better win this game.
That's what I'm saying, too. Yeah. I'm going with the Jets as well. I can't see. I mean, Tennessee just they got a lot of work to do, man. A lot of work. Like Trey said, Levis is not that dude. Will Levis is not that dude, in my opinion. They got some things they need to figure out. New York just ain't that bad. I just think they're not the best team out there, but I believe they're better than Tennessee. So I'm taking the Jets as well. Trey, who you got?
I'm going with the Jets as well. Like, we got to take into consideration who the Jets played last week. They wasn't completely bad. It just they looked like they had some bad situations. Like I said, Reese wasn't doing what we know him to do. I mean, Breece Hall wasn't doing what we know him to do. Y'all talk about y'all believe in Lazard. If y'all believe in Lazard, as well as you got Garrett there against Tennessee, it might be a different showing. We might see what we thought we was going to see last week. So I'm taking the Jets as well.
Okay, great. Moving right along, other 12 Central Standard Time, 1 Eastern Time. The 49ers versus those Minnesota Vikings. Both teams are 1-0. We're going to see who's going to come out on top and who's going to have a notch in the L column. Trey, you know I'm coming to you first because you're the 49er fan. Who you got? Again, without Christian McCaffrey. So is Mason going to eat again versus the Minnesota Vikings?
So I don't think Mason's going to eat again. I don't think they're going to get a heavy dose of Mason unless it starts like we were talking about earlier, in-game decisions, in-game transitions and decision-making, and then realize like we can sit up and become a run-heavy squad. I don't foresee Brandon Ayuk having the same type of misfortunes he had last week. So, of course, I'm not just because they're my team, but because of those reasons, I'm going with San Francisco.
CC, they playing in Minnesota. Who you taking?
I'm taking the Vikings. The Vikings smacked them last year. I'm taking the Vikings. I'm going to say the pressure on Sam Darnold is going to, if they keep pressure on Sam Darnold, but he got that wild card. As long as Justin Jefferson out there, one leg, two legs, man.
That's a bad man.
Yeah. I see Justin Jefferson having a good game today.
Second paid highest wide receiver in the league, a second to CeeDee Lamb. So I'm gonna put it to you like this, right? I see what San Francisco did last week. I know what San Francisco was in the Super Bowl last year. However, I gotta go with the Vikings because they're playing in Minnesota, and I just feel like Minnesota and Justin Jefferson and all of them are gonna do what they need to do out there. It's gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a close one, I think. And I'm taking Minnesota to get the win out there in Minnesota. Next game, 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock Eastern. Seattle, who got a win last week, was pretty much a shocker to a lot of people. And then New England, two teams who won last week. Both teams were currently undefeated, but somebody got to take an L today. Seattle, New England Patriots, we just talked about it, man. This one is a hard one to pick for me. I'm not going to lie. New England wasn't that impressive, in my opinion, but they did beat Cincinnati. I'm going Seattle, though. I got to go with Seattle. I think Seattle has got enough to do what they need to do to get a win, even though they're on the road. So I'm taking Seattle in this game. CC, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Patriots in this one because I like Ramondre Stevenson, man. That young man can run that rock, and I think he's gonna have a good time against that weak front line of Seattle.
Okay, Trey, who you got? Seattle, New England.
I'm going with Seattle. I just don't. What New England is going to have to make me a believer in. Like I said, I did predict that Brissett was going to be the starting quarterback, and he's another one of those in the role of a starter. In the role of a backup now in the starter's position. But he was traded. He was signed to be the starter in this case. So I do think that potentially. They will get it going, but until they show me that they can, I can't ride with them. So I'm going with Seattle on this one.
Oh, y'all just sleep. Y'all just ignore Metcalf, huh? Just forget what Metcalf out there doing over in Seattle. Okay. All right. Moving right along. We got the New York Giants 0-1 versus the Washington Commanders. This game is at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I picked first and last time. So, CC, who you got? The Giants or the Commanders?
That's a tough game for me. I hope they end in a tie because they're in my division. But now I'm gonna take the Commanders. I think the Commanders are a little bit better than the Giants.
Okay. I'm going with the Commanders as well. I think I have high regards for that quarterback out in Washington. And so I really think New York we saw what happened with New York last week. They just 6 points in 4 quarters. 6 points. 6 points? Bro, come on. I got to go with the Commanders. Trey, who you got?
I'm going to do the same. I'm feeling y'all. I guess it's a trifecta, just like with the Jets. Watching the Commanders is just not. I don't see any other cards right now. More stuff to come, but yeah, I'm rocking with the Commanders as well.
Okay, Los Angeles Rams versus the Carolina Panthers. We just talked about the Carolina Panthers, bro, and we talked about the Rams. Rams 1-0, Carolina 0-1. 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. Trey, who you got? Rams. I'm sorry. So keep saying the Rams. Chargers versus Carolina Panthers. I don't know why I want to always call them the Rams. Chargers versus Carolina Panthers. My correction. Who you got? The Chargers or the Panthers, Trey?
Chargers. It doesn't change no matter. You could have said.
All right.
Could have said clean.
You could have said your 12-year-old, your 8-year-old NFL
flag team.
I'm still going with the opposite,
right?
But no, it's just again, you gotta show me something, and Carolina ain't got it right now, so I'm going to take the Chargers as well.
Okay, CC,
Chargers,
easy pick. I don't think that Chargers. Carolina really got to do something for me to pick them. Now, this is a good one right here because We talked about these two quarterbacks as well previously. Both of them have something to show. One's been in the league longer than the other, and they still have yet to see brilliance out of these two quarterbacks. One showed some a glimpse, but haven't seen it since. And that's the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson and the Jacksonville Jaguars and Sunshine. We know we already know this game is at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. CC, Cleveland, Jacksonville, who you got?
I'm gonna take Jacksonville just by default in that game.
I'm with you, bro. Yes, they are in the same boat, Alvin.
Hey, Deshaun, I'm gonna give you a tip today, man. Run for your life. Run. Tuck that thing and run. They ain't blocking for you, bro. Run.
That part. Trey, who you got?
It's another one. Continues keep that party going. I'm going with Jacksonville as well. I actually think that Jacksonville has some upside in general, but and just makes it. This is more of a solidifying game, and where Cleveland probably isn't without. You gotta think without Nick Chubb, Cleveland hasn't been showing. Jerome Ford has been effective. Amari Cooper continues to do what he needs to do, but like you said, I think it's a fractured locker room, which is always said to be problematic, and I don't think it has changed in any case for LaShawn. So I'm rocking with Jacksonville as well.
I got to go with Trevor Lawrence, man. I think he has the most upside in being able to show a reason they're playing in Jacksonville. I think he has enough to be able to again, no, this is Jacksonville.
Duval.
One of the Jacksonville is still supposed to be going up against one of the top ranked defenses. We'll see when it's all said and done. But I
look at Anthony.
CC get you losing.
Gotta go with you, man. I gotta go with you. And the last noon or 1 o'clock game, early game, the Las Vegas Raiders, who are on 1, versus that bad man in Lamar Jackson and them Baltimore Ravens, who just barely took an L out there in KC in Arrowhead Stadium. I'll go first. I will pick Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens. I definitely feel like they'll bounce back. I know Derek Carr. We just talked about him doing things out there, and not Derek. Yeah, Derek Carr out there in the Raiders or whatnot. But I just feel like Lamar is not finna take another L, man. I think that L that he took in Kansas City, I think he really, really wanted that win because everybody, it's a lot of scrutiny coming up against Lamar Jackson and what he's able to do. 2-time MVP, yet hasn't been to a Super Bowl since he's been in the league. I'm going with Baltimore. Who you got, Trey?
I'm keeping the party going, Baltimore as well. One thing I will say is if Baltimore doesn't find out how to use Derrick Henry effectively, that's just going to be lost money down the drain. But
that already.
Yeah, so if they continue with that stuff which they're doing, it's going to be problematic for them. They're going to wonder why they signed him. In all actuality, it's not going to be on him. It's going to be on them because they should use him effectively, and they haven't as yet. So yeah, I'm thinking that Baltimore is going to be the winner on this team.
Yeah, I totally agree. Harbaugh is not using Derrick Henry the way in which I would expect him to use him. I think a lot of people would have expected him. He's not getting enough touches, in my opinion. But CC, Baltimore.
I'm taking the Ravens, man. That's the easiest pick you can make right there. The Raiders got to show me something. They got to figure out a way. You got this great receiver, but you can't figure out a way to get him the ball. I don't even understand. Like, you ain't even throwing it enough so you can go for a 50-50 ball. I don't understand your game plan.
Right. That part. I totally agree. First late game. First late game. Los Angeles Rams. I got it right this time. Los Angeles Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray. They're playing in Arizona. Arizona played a good game last week. They just came up short. It was close. We saw that game. It was a close game. Arizona comes up short. Both teams are 0-1, so no team has a win as of yet. CC, Rams, Cardinals. Who you got?
Y'all know I like McVay, so I'm going Rams. I like McVay. Okay. Rams.
Okay. Trey, Rams, Cardinals. Who you got?
I'm going with the Rams as well. Cooper Kupp is, Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp, and he showed 14 receptions, 100-something yards last week. Like he showed like, yes, we had that conversation about Puka Nacua being the top one, in which it started like that. And then not to mention, you cannot not mention Matthew Stafford. Like, this is a Hall of Fame quarterback on just currently waiting. And how many times did we say that about some quarterbacks that they're Hall of Famers while they're still playing? He's one of those. So it's just one of those things. Arizona was close, but their number one draft pick from last year didn't even see the ball. Wide
he caught one pass, right? Like,
yeah, he did one
yards. Marvin Harrison didn't get a lot of targets, right?
Right.
Yeah, correct.
So caught one, he caught one, and that was it.
So unless some changes, in which is just like a lot of this and what you're talking about, you got to show me something. Arizona got to show me something before I can even think to start looking and talking about them. But I'm on a Rams train today.
I am going against the both of you. I think just exactly what Trey just said. I think a lot of people feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. should be targeted more, and I think Kyler Murray is going to listen. I look at Marvin Harrison Jr. to get at least 10 or more looks today in Arizona. They're playing in Arizona. A lot of people want to see Marvin Harrison do his thing. Kyler Murray is back. I feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to get looked at a lot. I'm taking Arizona at home. At 3:25 Central Standard Time, 4:25 Eastern Time, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who came out with a win, I don't know how, but they came out with a win last week, 1-0 versus those Denver Broncos and Bo Nix, who are 0-1. So either Pittsburgh can come up 500 or Denver can come up 500. It all depends. Or Denver could be winless. Trey, who you got? Steelers, Broncos.
So I'm going with Pittsburgh. Now, I know Sean Payton was probably thinking like, oh, yeah, we know exactly who Russ is, but he's not playing Russ. Although they're playing Justin, in which that might, outside the fact that he is a little more mobile than him, we don't know what Justin we're going to get. Like you just said, we don't know how Pittsburgh won. We know how they won. Actually, defense win balls games, and TJ Watt was in the zone in a sense where and it wasn't like they was playing the scrub for the most part in Atlanta. So I'm going with Pittsburgh. I just keep it to that. Pittsburgh, Bo Nix is not it. I know y'all think highly of Bo Nix. He may not be it either.
CC, Broncos, Steelers.
I got the Broncos in this one. I don't think you're going to beat the Broncos kicking 6 field goals. I don't care how good your defense is. I don't think you're going to beat them kicking 6 field goals.
Okay. Now me, this is a hard one for me because TJ Watt is a problem, and I don't know if Bo Nix has seen a problem like that.
Yes,
and TJ is that dude. However, they're playing in Denver, so I'm rocking with CC. I'm going with Denver. I think this is going to be a breakout game with Bo. I think Bo is about to show y'all why people are highly talking about Bo Nix, because they were talking about Bo during the preseason and all of that. How Bo was doing great things out there in Denver. And like CC said earlier, I think Sean Payton done found his quarterback. And when Sean Payton find a quarterback that he really, really likes, Sean Payton puts a lot of emphasis in preparing that quarterback for that game. I'm going Denver in this game. Next, we have this is a big game. Even though one of these teams is already got an L, but this is a big game because we talking about two of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. We're talking about Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow versus that bad man and reigning Super Bowl champion in Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs. However, they're playing at Arrowhead. Cincinnati 0-1, Kansas City 1-0. CC, who you rocking with?
Kansas City in that one. Chris Jones and that D-line gonna have a field day today. And whatever linebackers that blitz, y'all gonna have fun hitting Joe Burrow today.
Trey, Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes, who you got?
I think it's going to be a clean sweep of this. Kansas City is going to probably have a pretty good game. I would be surprised. And you know what? I'm going with Kansas City, but watch, this is going to be the game in which Cincinnati gets the dub. But I'm going with Kansas City.
But this is the thing, right? We all know Burrow's on one of the only quarterbacks out there to be able to handle Kansas City and them Chiefs. So it's not. I don't think it's a thing. So what Anthony is referring to is Higgins has not signed a contract an extension.
Chase hasn't signed an extension or his contract.
I said Higgins.
Higgins is dealing with the injury as well.
That's what I meant. Jamar Chase hasn't signed an extension on his contract. Higgins is out. He's not playing today. Injury, hamstring. But Jamar said they're not going to talk anymore about contract for the rest of the season. They're going to focus on the game. He plans on playing the entire season, not worrying about the contract. So it is what it is. I'm taking Kansas City. They playing in Arrowhead, even though I know Joe Burrow has been Patrick Mahomes, somewhat kryptonite. I just got to go. When you playing in Arrowhead, it's hard to beat them. It's hard to beat them in Arrowhead. So I'm going Kansas City. Next, we got Trey's people. Caleb Williams, who ain't gonna do nothing out in Chicago, who are 1-0. Defense wins Super Bowls. Offense sell tickets. I don't know how they selling tickets. I know how. Caleb Williams. That's why they selling tickets right now. He's the number one pick in the NFL draft this past season. We get it. He's a former. He's also a Heisman Trophy winner. But they're not finna mess with that boy CJ Stroud. They are not. They're traveling to Houston. They're going out to the H-Town. I'm definitely picking Houston. Houston showed me what they can do last year, and they showed me last week what they could do week 1. I see Dre and them boys is ready. Them boys out there in Houston is ready in that red, white, blue. I'm picking Houston. CC, who you got? Chicago.
I'm taking Houston. Chicago. I don't think offensively they're gonna have enough.
Okay. Trey, Bears, Titans. Texans.
Nah, this is a Houston train on this one. Again, while we keep on talking that talk of you got to show me something, and Houston has been showing. They're showing so you're saying it's definitely one of those situations where I wish San Francisco was coming to Houston this year, which is just 3 hours up the road. I would definitely be at that game, but that's not the case. But Houston is showing something, so I give them. You got to give them flowers and give them props where the props is needed, and that's they're that team right now. Underrated core. I don't believe in Diggs for the most part, but he is an effective player in which he's lined up with Dale, Tank Dale, and I can't even think of the other players they got there. They have a receiving core there, so
they got receivers.
Very effective.
Right. Okay. Well, and then Monday night's game, the Atlanta Falcons, and that so-called you like that? Kirk Cousins, who really didn't look like he was Hurt Cousins, in my opinion. He looked like Hurt Cousins. Not my type of hurt. Jalen Hurts in that way. But Kirk Cousins versus the Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Come on. I don't need to pick. Y'all know who it is, man. Gonna come into Philly. Y'all already know who I got. It is what it is. You already know. Alvin, you know what it is, bro. Let's go. But Trey, who you got? Atlanta Falcons or the Philadelphia Eagles?
So the Atlanta Falcons is my team I looked at to win their division this year. But coming out and losing the way they did, I don't know if I would think, who I thought was going to benefit the most from having Kirk Cousins on the team? Kyle Pitts. I thought was going to be the most beneficial person to unlock his full potential by having Kirk Cousins on the team. But we ain't see too much of a Pitts spotting. Bijan continues to do his thing, but I don't think it would be enough overall. So I'm going with Philly.
Okay. CC.
I'm gonna shock y'all, and I'm gonna take Atlanta. And this is
why you being disrespectful, CC.
No, and this is why I'm gonna take Atlanta. AJ Brown not playing, it evens the field. It evens the playing field a little bit because now you can concentrate on Devontae Smith. You kind of limit him a little bit, and then you let the chips fall where they may. I think Saquon gonna have a decent game, but he won't have as good a game as he had the first week 1. So I'm taking Atlanta. I think they're gonna right the ship.
We got games already in the already starting off. As you can see right now, we got the Buccaneers and the Lions already starting. The Buccaneers with the ball first, second and 9 off their first run. As you can see, these were our picks. Make sure y'all stay tuned, man. We got more more things coming within. We got tomorrow's night game. I don't know if we'll do a show tomorrow night. I gotta see. Oh, Baker looking good already, y'all. Baker looking good already. I'm just telling y'all what God love, the truth, baby. Baker looking good. Baker looking good. You know what I'm saying? We got the Ravens. We got the Ravens and the Raiders playing right now. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see. Real quick. I know I gotta pretty much get out of here real soon because my girl gotta play. Oh, the Raiders are already punting. So obviously the defense ain't doing. The offense ain't doing nothing with Derek Carr. They've already started. You know, if they already 4 out already, they about to punt the ball off. Let's see. Ooh, that was a good punt.
Oh yeah, Baltimore.
Who is he going? Oh, they get him down. He was close. He was close. All right, so there it is, man. Those are just a couple of games. I don't want to show y'all too much, but again, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much, man. It's been lovely, man. Thank y'all for those that tune in, Alvin, Anthony, anybody else that watched the show. We really, really, really appreciate y'all, man. With that being said, Trey, again, happy birthday to you, bro. Enjoy your birthday. Hopefully, your 49ers will get a W for you on your birthday. We shall see.
Happy birthday. I took the Vikings, so I'm not going to say I want the 49ers to win. I'm not changing my pick.
Vikings too. I think
happy birthday.
I took the Vikings too. Because they played it.
And don't forget, in a couple of weeks, I'll be in Houston. I'll be in Houston in a couple of weeks for about a week.
Oh, for real? What's going on out there? CC, what has you in Houston? Work?
Well, it's a family thing, like I think they're having a birthday party for my aunt or something. So
okay, that's what's up.
So we're gonna be out there. I'm going to that game, Texans versus Jaguars too.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, man. That's gonna be dope. Definitely, that's gonna be dope, man. We'll have fun with that for sure. Yeah. With that being said, man, y'all enjoy y'all's Sunday. Enjoy watching football. And this is your crew right here, man, from First Take. C.O.B. Close this. We'll holler back at you. Peace. Cyro 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated.